Welcome back! This is Dark Souls 2 and I'm Daz. While we were taking a break, I did a couple things off screen. I got a couple more souls so that we can make an important purchase, and in doing so I picked up some interesting pickups. We have the infantry axe and the hollow soldier armor. The axe is kind of take or leave, but the armor is actually a pretty clear upgrade. Now then, as for that important purchase, we are going to buy a Pharos' Lockstone from Merchant Hag Valencia. Lockstones are sort of like single-use keys you can use in multiple places. They're very valuable, so you'll want to get them whenever you have the chance. This is, I think, the only one you really have to buy. Now let's do some more exploration. We sort of skipped this area last time. It says that the door is locked, but if you ask me, that door doesn't look very sturdy. This is, I'm not sure you want to call it a sequence break, but there is a way to access this area before you're intended to. You just break down the door. Usually it doesn't work that well in any other place in the game, but it's worth giving a door a whack every once and again just to see if you can break it down. The infantry axe is kind of slow and it's honestly not very powerful. Our reward for this act of vandalism is an Estus Flask shard and a small white sign soapstone. We know what the shard does, and it's always a valuable pickup. But the white sign soapstone is a little weird. Believe it or not, you can actually walk on this branch. It's not even that hard of a jump to make as long as you go slow and line it up correctly. The white sign soapstone lets you leave summon signatures so other players can call you for help. However, there's a couple caveats to that I'll get to when we get the normal sign soapstone. As you can see, the hand axe we just found is basically a blanket upgrade from the infantry axe. So let's switch to that for now. Faster and a bit more powerful. I suppose it has a little bit less reach, but not by much. That door is far too sturdy to be knocked down, so I'll have to leave it be. Alright, we skipped over this area too last time, so let's explore it some. It is mostly optional, though there are some very nice rewards for going here. This fight can actually get very dicey because the lock on camera can really screw you over. It was difficult to see, but the reason the camera freaked out there was that it tried to automatically target the hollow infantryman behind me instead of the hollow soldier in front of me. That led to some mishaps. Speaking of mishaps, let's not take a blind leap. This area is chock full of snipers, so you want to take it slow and carefully. The best way to deal with this guy without putting yourself in danger is just luring him out by getting close and backing away. It's also just kind of full of enemies in general that just sort of come out of the woodwork. As a rule, you want to save your Estus Flask for combat. Life gems give you healing over time, which is very useful for patching up in between fights, but you can actually get killed pretty easily even if you pop a very strong life gem in the middle of combat, because it takes a while for your health to come back. Estus flasks are much quicker. Alright, this can be a very tricky jump to make, because if you time it incorrectly, he can actually shoot you out of midair and you will probably die. However, if you do correctly make the jump, he is very susceptible to a backstab, because you basically roll behind him automatically. Now, I wanted to go up there to take care of the last sniper, but that's actually a bit of a point of no return. So instead of making the trek all the way back here, let's just leave it for a bit. I don't think he can reach us in this cave. Area of boulder. Oh! Okay. Like that would ever work. Free human effigy? Death ahead. And this strange fellow.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just daydreaming, I think. My name is Kale. I'm a traveler, like yourself. I'm navigating the continent to create a map. Why cartography, you ask? Well, that's a good question. When I first came into this forsaken land, it was... a curse? Something about a curse? How embarrassing. I seem to have lost my focus. But I do know one thing for certain. I have always been very fond of maps. I came to this land some time ago. Drangleic, the Lost Kingdom. It sounded so romantic. Have you seen Majula? Oh, there's a rather spacious mansion there. I've made it my temporary home. Well, as something of a squatter, I'm afraid. Inside the mansion, I found a strange map, like none I'd ever seen. I believe that it's a map of Drangleic. Now I'm traveling the land to prove it. Yes, that's it. That's why I came to the kingdom. Wait. No, that wasn't it. Then what? I don't seem to recall. Were you looking for that map? Wonderful. Then you're fascinated by maps, just like me. Shame on you. You should have told me before. Here, take this. A key to the mansion. What a joy to meet a kindred spirit out here. Incredible, really, isn't it? Such a map to be chiseled in stone. Oh, but one thing. I would not venture deep into the mansion. I can't be certain, but I've heard disturbing noises. Something about it feels wrong. Just be careful, please. I'll be back in Majula soon. Perhaps we will meet again and discuss maps at our leisure. I'll be perhaps...
Well, Kale the cartographer is a little bit of a scatterbrain, but from what we understand, that might not be entirely his fault. more than that, he's a nice guy and he gave us a key to his mansion. I'll have to check that out the next time we're in town. It is never required to actually enter the Majula mansion, but like I said before, there are some very nice goodies in there. Archers on narrow pathways can be difficult if you try to evade the arrows. It's much better to just try and block them with a shield. Well, this is technically a sniper spot. I can't deny that. You probably won't have anything to snipe by the time you get up here. This fort has definitely seen some better days. I'm not even really sure what this area is supposed to be. It can be a little difficult to actually find where you want to go. However, players will often leave helpful signs that say here or something like that to point the way to where you want to go. This is especially helpful when they do it in areas like this where what is solid ground and what is not necessarily very obvious. Area cleared out, let's head back to the bonfire and be on our way. In fact, I kind of want to check on how Blacksmith Lenegrast is doing, and we have the mansion to explore as well, so let's head back to Majula. There's also a couple of goodies I missed here. Hiding behind Lenegrast Shack is the soul of a nameless soldier and a couple of free life gems. We should probably go ahead and pop some of these and make some purchases.
You, stand back. This is dangerous work. The name's Lenegrast. Just a simple blacksmith. And you are... another useless traveler. A man ought to labor with his feet planted firmly in the earth. Not roam around like you flirtatious vagabonds. Oh, what does it matter? Go on, show me what you've got. Your equipment. Let me have a look, but do it quick. Drat. You're worse than my reckless daughter. Don't spend your whole life in transit, you hear? You'll need souls to repair and improve equipment. I know only of smithing, but souls have many other uses as well. Don't waste your souls on useless trinkets. Think before you spend. Equipment can be strengthened with rare ore stone, but such ore stone won't come easily. My girl knows her stones, but she's always out prancing about. Now, there's a time for travels, but you can't wander the world forever. Even you must have someone waiting back home. Drat. Don't spend it.
Lemongrass seems like a nice guy. He's a little gruff and to the point, but he seems to have our best interests at heart. In particular, I want to buy that mace. I also want to buy that spear, but both of them together breaks the bank a little bit. So let's go with the mace for now. It's tempting, but I'm just gonna save it. Lemongrass also sells some basic arrows, as well as repair powder and 10 titanite shards. As Lemongrass mentioned,
I'll be around if you make it back.
you can use titanite shards to upgrade your weapons and equipment. However, as he also said, that costs souls, and we're still not really in the clear as far as souls go. The mace has a similar attack pattern to the hand axe and the infantry axe. The main difference is that it's a striking weapon instead of a slashing weapon. Strike damage tends to do a lot more damage to heavily armored enemies and certain other kinds of enemies as well. I believe that this was the rock that Shalquara mentioned back in episode 2. And if I recall correctly, she said this would offer us greater challenges. So, in conjunction with that message we just saw about regret, let's just take these homeward bones and leave. There's another purchase I want to make here. But I think that we'll explore the mansion first. That's been on my mind for a little bit. It's a bit of a stretch to call this place a mansion, but it's nice enough as far as Dark Souls go. This appears to be some sort of library with books that are far too large for any person to comfortably hold. We can hear the snorting of those annoying little undead devourers outside. If you don't know what they are, it can be kind of unsettling going through here and just hearing this ominous snorting. Sure enough, there they are. We could try a plunging attack, but again, all three of them together is only 60 souls, so let's just leave. Now this must be the map that Kale was talking about. It looks only questionably like a map, but that must be the entirety of Dranglake on it. We have skeleton. This must be the foul presence that Kale mentioned. This skeleton can be very difficult to handle if you're a new player. It has a lot of health, and it does a lot of damage, and it can also inflict bleeding if it hits you. However, skeletons have a crippling weakness to strike weapons. They're quite resistant to slashing weapons, but if you just break the bones with a mace, they go down very quickly. Now that we've cleared the skeleton out of the basement, not only will Kale come home, we're also free to loot all of these goodies. As well as take a look at this curiously familiar broken goodie. As far as I know, this is the only kind of ornate chest like this in the base game. Inside is a soul vessel. A soul vessel is a very unique item. It can allow the reallocation of levels, but without proper assistance, it may simply drain you of souls. This is essentially a respawn token. I'm sorry, a respec token. If you go back to the Things Betwixt and talk to the Chief Firekeeper. She can help you reallocate all of the soul levels that you've put into your character. If you feel like you've made a terrible mistake somewhere along the line, or if you simply want to try something different, it's worth exploring.
Oh, hello again.
What we're after here is a Silver Eagle Kite Shield. It's a bit expensive, but it is much stronger than the Crimson Parma in pretty much every respect.
Thanks very much. And do please come again.
That'll do it for him. He doesn't really have anything much better than what we're wearing at the moment. Now, we don't have quite enough strength to use the Silver Eagle Kite Shield yet, but we can at least see why it's better. It has much higher physical reduction, higher stability, and higher resistances to most things. It's a little heavier, and it does not parry quite as quickly because it's a medium-sized shield.
Is that a shard you found?
We've actually found 2 shards.
Here, let me see it, so that I may help you. To see light, to see hope, however faint it might be.
By turning these into the Emerald Herald, we effectively increase our battery life twofold. We have some souls left over, so let's level up a bit too. In fact, let's get enough strength to use that shield. We still don't have quite enough to use the mace on one hand, but now we have more than enough to equip our trusty fire longsword in one-handed. That'll do it for now. We'll see you next time.